Guru Nation, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the blog. And actually, here's a call to action. I have a brand new clinical research news website. So the Clinical Trials Guru, these videos, the blog, that content's evergreen. What that means is that it really never gets old. Like, they get old eventually, but as technologies emerge and it makes some of the stuff that I talked about outdated, but for the most part they're evergreen. So they'll be good for 5 years, 6 years, maybe even 10 years. Some of these videos, and some of these videos will be good for the rest of our lives. Okay, but there's also news. There's recent developments, there's mergers and acquisitions, there's presidential elections. How does that affect our industry? So I have a new website called theclinicalscoop.com. For now, it's me, Chris, and a few other writers writing articles on there, and we have videos too. We post some of our videos on there that are news related. So just go check it out. Make sure you subscribe there as well. Okay. So today's question comes from someone who texted me. How can a research site transition to becoming a CRO? So the answer here is, this is very unusual. Okay, this does not happen. The short answer is they don't. Okay, they don't do that. A research clinic is not a CRO, just like a leopard is not a tiger. Okay, a research clinic, I'm imagining you're asking this because you'd like to diversify, which is good. I recommend it. Also, you may have seen that I'm launching a CRO. Now here's what I did. Okay, so first of all, I don't have much experience running a CRO. We just started this late 2016. We got our first CDA and actually first like little bit of advance payment, startup payment in early 2017. And we're looking into the middle half of this year, 2017. Hi, for those of you watching in the future. So hopefully by summertime 2017, we're going to have this project going, and there's other sticks in the fire as well. But my research sites are still running, and they run independently of the CRO. It has nothing to do, the CRO can go bankrupt. My sites are still here. Okay, so my sites didn't transition into a CRO. It's just I created something different. It's an and, okay? It's not an or. Now, there are ways you can transition a site into an SMO, which is a site management organization, okay? So, and by the way, this has been done so many times. One of my business partners, Solly Stevens at Continental Clinical Solutions, is doing this right now. He has a site in Baltimore and he's going to be expanding. So he's building an SMO, even though we don't really like to use that term around here because it's got negative connotations to it. Watch the other videos if you're confused. But a site can transition into an SMO. So just like you go out and find physicians, bring them to your clinic, well, you can actually go to another physician's office and sort of build a clinical research business for them, help them build a site. Okay, now you are now an SMO. You're using your formula from your one site at this new site. Now, whether you brand it the same, whether you keep the legal structure under the same umbrella or have a holding company, whether you negotiate contracts and budgets together or separately, I suggest separately because you can learn a lot of market insights that way, but we don't have time for that today, maybe later. So there's a lot of options you have there, but for all intents and purposes and for practical purposes, you're now an SMO, okay? Whether you call yourself that or not, you're an SMO. Now, it's a lot easier once you have a network of sites. Let's say, and this is one of the things that motivated me to start my CRO, is I saw that, hey, you know, once we started opening sites, partnering with different research clinics across the country, and then we started consulting with research sites across the country, we realized we have an infrastructure, even though each site is a separate entity and completely separate from one another, we have the pieces, we have the ingredients to start this CRO. And in fact, a lot of CROs are purchasing sites, all right? And they do that because they want influence over the sites. Why? Primarily for patient recruitment purposes. So the CRO wants to win the bid defense when they go to a sponsor and compete with another CRO, and the sponsor asks, well, how are you different? Well, we have influence over our sites. Why? Because we own some of them, or we partner with some of them. So the big CROs were already doing this, and I paid attention, so I said, you know what, we already have that, so let's go ahead and do it, and we'll see how it goes. As of March 1st, 2017, I don't have much to report as far as how the CRO is going, other than it's moving in the right direction, right? It's not stagnant, it's slow, but surely there is progress, okay? And it's up to me to make sure we're constantly getting more deal flow, which I haven't been doing that good of a job, but there are about 3 or 4 other sticks in the fire, meaning 3 or 4 other potential projects in addition to this one. So I've got to do a better job following up, but to answer your question, that's how I would go about it if I were you. Keep your sites, maybe start an SMO, but don't call it that. You go to a lot of these network events. I actually know this person who's asking. You network with a lot of people. You go to conferences all the time. So find someone who wants to partner with you. Maybe they're brand new and they don't mind sharing some equity with you in their site in exchange for your expertise. And start replicating that model across the country. And pretty soon you have an SMO. And then if you really want, you can transition that into a CRO where you can still keep the SMO independently running and just have a CRO. Because, guys, there's not much to having a CRO, okay? A CRO is just putting together pieces, like I mentioned earlier, ingredients, right? Like you have all these raw ingredients and you're just putting them together and cooking a meal and then serving the meal, right? There's nothing to it really. Like there's no special equipment you need. You need vendors, right, for everything, but most of these things are outsourced. Most of these things are white labeled. There are so many vendors in this industry like EDC, IWRS, patient recruitment vendors, site training vendors, virtual workspace, CTMS. You can white label these, meaning that the sponsor thinks it's yours, or you can just use third parties. Drug Dev is another vendor. They do site payments. They do a bunch of other stuff. BioClinic is another vendor. They do EDC and all kinds of other risk-based monitoring. They have biostatistics. They have all. So you don't need any of that. These people are here. These vendors are here. You can use them whenever you want. What's the issue? Money. Okay, so if you want a CRO, in short, do what I said, sites, SMO, and then do what I'm doing now, or what I need to be doing a better job of, and go and do as much biz dev as you can to get projects to your CRO, okay? Because that's really what's going to pay the bills. It's not difficult to get a vendor. It's not difficult to set up an EDC. They'll do it for you. You just need the money, okay? And you can pass through these costs to the sponsor. Now, if you want to really get sophisticated, and that's a different video, we can talk about how to make your CRO profitable, but honestly, I'm not there yet, and as I learn, I will certainly share with you guys. But that's a bridge we're going to cross later. Let's just get the business now, okay? Good luck with that. Let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.